This is where the community is connected. 980 AM WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Macon in Middle Georgia. It's time for Village Talks with Tia and LJ. Join them live every Wednesday from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. right here on the Glory 107.9 FM, 980 AM WDDO. Log on to the Glory 107.9 FM on Facebook or YouTube to become a part of the conversation. Let's go live into the studio for Village Talks with Tia and LJ.
Is your child struggling with reading, writing, learning loss, and a culturally irrelevant curriculum? Do you want your child to be outstanding at reading and writing and also take pride in their culture? Then you want Reading Revolution Online. Reading Revolution Online is a web-based reading support program. We serve scholars in grades K through 8, and through our innovative approach, we help them build reading confidence and cultural identity development, equipping them for success in school and life. They learn about Black heroes and sheroes through captioned videos, reading selections, and other activities. Reading Revolution Online is an experience for the whole family. Do it for the culture. Go to readingrevolution.org and get your membership today.
Yo.
Hey.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Had a little technical difficulty.
Getting it together. It's all right.
Welcome to Village Talks. We are Macon in Middle Georgia's freshest radio show and Godcast, bringing you conversations centered around culture and community from right here in the 478 and beyond. I am your co-host, LJ, and to my left is the gorgeous, so smart. She smells good. She's so thoughtful. She's so organized, strategic, loving.
Yeah. Peace, good people. How y'all doing out there? Thank y'all so much for joining us this Wednesday. It's hot, y'all. It's so hot outside. I don't know if my energy is depleted because of the heat, but it's been hot the last few days. But today it got me. It's a nice, consistent heat that just got me a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's hot out here. You know, if y'all ain't know, Tia originally from Cleveland, so we have little jumps in the wintertime, y'all. It be 20, 30 degrees. Like, oh, it ain't that cold. It's not that cold. I said, man, it's cold. It's 40, 50 degrees. It's cold down here in Georgia. Folks from Georgia, but now, we trickling in those triple digits. Now you hot now. You hot now, ain't you?
Ooh. and nothing quite like the word. When I first moved to Georgia, I remember me and my sister, we were in a car, and I put the window down, y'all. I said, this heat different. It just feel different when you put the window down in Georgia. I had to stay in the house for about the first week or so. When I moved down here to get acclimated, my feet were swelling and everything, y'all. So it took me a while.
It wasn't that high. It made your feet swell up.
It was hot, y'all. But I'm a little bit more acclimated. But these summer days, the last couple weeks they've been getting to me. But it's been officially 10 years for me here in the great state of Georgia, here in Middle Georgia. So I'm grateful to have this experience, because Macon is now home for me. I love Macon. I love the city. So yeah.
Yeah. You here now? Once you're in Macon for longer than a year, you from Macon. But 10 years, you definitely you are blessed in.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Shout out to everybody checking in with us. Yes, we are live on your radio. If you are riding around, if you're at home, or wherever you are listening to your radio dial, we are on 107.9 FM, 980 AM WDDO. That's everywhere in the Macon and Middle Georgia area.
That's right.
You can check us out. And if you are online, we appreciate you for checking in with us. You can live stream, check out our live stream on YouTube, Facebook, even on the app on the Apple and Google Play Store app. That would be the Glory WDDO 107.9 on all of those platforms. And make sure that you check us out, join the conversation in the live chat. Type in how you feeling, what you're thinking. If you got a question, enter that, comment, put it on in the chat. And communicate with us. And speaking of the chat, we have some folks checking in with us already. Miss Ashley Woodfoot, she says, "Hey y'all, happy Wednesday."
Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody.
Yeah, then Julia Callahan, she says, tuning in. Shout out to you, Julia. What's going on?
That was a good event this past Sunday, the opening of the
they had the opening of the office for Keisha Lansbottoms.
Yes.
Who's running for governor. So there's a lot of stuff happening with these races. There's going to be a lot of more money poured into these races as well. The Supreme Court just passed yesterday is going to be allowing for there to be they're taking away the limits from the donors.
No cap.
Yeah, no cap. Ain't no caps on how much money is going to be pouring. So it used to be a time a lot of the money had to be funneled through these different PACs, political action committees, what they call, where you have these different initiatives that they people like big large donors, they'll be able to put their money into these PACs, and then it would kind of get funneled into the candidates' campaigns, but they couldn't say where they got the money from and all that kind of stuff. But now they're taking the limits off, so now a lot of these PACs aren't going to be the ones with all the power, of the dollar. It's going to be going directly to the majority parties that we have, which are the Republican and Democratic parties. And so it's gonna be a lot more money that's gonna be coming through the pipeline directly to these parties. So y'all pay attention to that and see how that's going. But shout out to everybody that was at that event for Keisha Lansbottoms. They have an office here in Macon. I think they're gonna be doing some things. I think the Republican Party also has an office somewhere in Macon, and they're gonna be pushing what's his name?
Rick Jackson.
Yeah, Rick Jackson.
Yeah, he was spending $100 million.
Yeah, he probably might spend more than that.
I'm sure he's gonna spend more for this.
He's a billionaire.
Yes.
So it's no cap on how much money he can give to himself.
All right.
For this. All right. So y'all make sure y'all pay attention to those things. There's a lot going on. We like to send out a very special shout out and send out prayers and condolences to the family of Marshall Talley. He lost his sister yesterday, and we're sending out our prayers and our condolences to him and his family. He was going to be our special guest for today, but he has to spend some very understandable time with his family right now as they are dealing with the loss of his sister. So y'all know Mr. Talley, make sure that y'all reach out to him, and respectfully within reason, and let him know that you love him and you care about him during this time. Him and his family, what they're dealing with the loss of his sister.
Yeah, so I know we put out the flyers for this week, so we're gonna reschedule Tally for another time. Again, we want to just say our condolences to him and his family for their loss, and we'll just be spending the show like we did last week, really just engaging with our village family in the comments. So y'all be sure to give us a call in 478-250-1444. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, be sure to join us in the comments. We have Randy Crawford says hello all. Wade Horton says good afternoon, village people. Good afternoon. Miguel Whitlow says what's up, good people.
Hey, Whit, hi.
Hey. And Miss Kimberly Whitlow says good day, family. Thank y'all so much for joining us. I know we missed y'all this morning.
Yeah, they were on Drive Time Morning Show this morning. They debuted their new record. They are a gospel hip hop group, y'all, that you have not. We know we told you about Drive Time Morning Show, which is a gospel radio show like you have never seen before. But they are a gospel hip hop group that like you have never seen before too, or heard. Yeah, but they do make great music. I've been doing some work with them myself in the studio, and they are amazing. So shout out to them for sure. She said, "It's okay, my baby comes first." She's talking about T-Car, of course. Yes,
That's
Yes.
right, absolutely. And then we want to give a big shout out and thank you to our sponsors. Homeland Village Cultural Center, that's Abijah over here on Napier Avenue. He has all your holistic natural organic health needs, as well as African attire, books, different literature, oils, incense, uh, sage, all of the things, artifacts, instruments, anything you need, he has it there. So big shout out to Abijah Homeland Village Cultural Center. We also want to give a shout out to our brother Sherman Kine and Assembly Brothers, as well as Habersham Records and Miss Pat Malone
That's right.
and the great Apostle Rosier and Bishop Scott of Roscoe Tours. Thank y'all so much for sponsoring the show. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for that. And we got some more folks checking in. We have Commissioner Donis Bryant says, hi, everyone. And Mr. Whitlow says, we appreciate working with you, sir.
Yeah, that's because his wife, Kimberly, she said, tell them who is our manager. That would be me. Yeah. I'm the manager of Whit High. So if y'all are looking to book an act for an upcoming show or whatever it is that you have going on, holla at me. We definitely got some entertainment for you. All right. Yeah, but we working right now. We're in the studio right now. So, but we will talk to a few folks.
Cooking up something
Yeah,
good.
but if you got something good going on, we'll get with you.
Mhm.
But yeah, we love to hear from anybody. Commissioner Bryant, you're always checking in with us. Wade Horton, Mr. Crawford, Whit High, anybody who's already been in the chat. Julia, if you're already in the chat, please feel free to give us a call, join this conversation. 478-250-1444. Let us know what's on your mind. What you feel like is going on in the community. We're gonna be touching on a few topics today after the news too, so feel free to chime in.
Absolutely. And I know Commissioner just had a cleanup over on Pine on the Circle, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So big shout out to all of the things she's doing to beautify District 8. And then we're going to get right into the news. So calling all young ladies ages 7 and older, Royal Legacy is holding majorette team tryouts this weekend. So tryouts will be Friday, July 3rd from 6 to 8:30. That will be for registration and skills evaluations. Saturday, July 4th will be choreography day. That will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And on Sunday, July 5th, there will be final auditions from 1 to 4 p.m. The program focuses on dance, leadership, confidence, academics, and personal growth. For more information, you can call 478-239-2109 or send Royal Legacy a direct message on social media. The Humanitarian Gang will be hosting its Back to School drive-through giveaway. It will be hosted in partnership with You Create Making. Families can receive free school supplies during the organization's 4th annual Back to School drive-through giveaway. This will be taking place on Saturday, July 11th from 9 to 11 a.m. while supplies last. The event will be located at You Create Making Innovation Center, and that'll be 1065 Anthony Road. This annual event honors the memory of Clintavious Meister, and is made possible through partnerships with local businesses and community sponsors. The Tubman Museum will be hosting its Heritage Camp, and registration is open. The camp dates are July 13th through July 24th, and the time is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The camp is open and designed for boys and girls ages 7 to 14. Activities include storytelling, African American history, art and painting, dance, field trips, cultural enrichment, and much more. It will be located at 310 Cherry Street, which is the Harriet Tubman Museum. The cost is $80 per week, and lunch and snacks are included. For registration information, please contact Ashley Wilford at 478-845-6389. I'm sorry, 6369. And then finally, we have the 2026 Making Black Business Expo. This event will be hosted by Central Georgia Coalition of Black Businesses and will be celebrating Black entrepreneurship while honoring the vision of Alex Habersham and the 35th anniversary of the Making Black pages. The 2-day event will take place Friday, August 7th, which will be the Black Pages Gala, and that'll be from 7 to 9 p.m. And then Saturday, August 8th, the Black Business Expo will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Both events will take place at the Macon Mall, and anyone who is interested in becoming a vendor can contact the Central Georgia Coalition of Black Businesses. Vendor fees range from $75 for nonprofits to $250 for corporate vendors, with discounted rates available for coalition members. So if you are interested in being a part of the Black Business Expo, which was really great last year, it's been great the last few years,
Right.
but make sure you reach out to the Coalition for Black Businesses, Mr. Habersham, Cherie Stevens, and they should be able to hook you up with a vending spot for that event.
Right. Happy birthday too, Uncle AC. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he just had his
Happy birthday, Uncle AC. Yeah, and another happy birthday to
Yes.
Miss Kimberlyn Carter.
That's right.
Yes.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
sister.
Yeah. We appreciate y'all. And y'all, that's what's happening in Macon, Middle Georgia. If you know of any other events. Oh, and then Commissioner Bryan says Al Tillman just gave away lots and lots of strawberries at Henderson Stadium. Yeah, there was a strawberry giveaway. I think it was at 1:00, 1:30.
Okay.
That took place earlier today. So if you were looking for some strawberries, he had some to give. And if y'all know of any other events or anything taking place that'll in upcoming week, please feel free to put it in the chat or give us a call in. Again, that phone number is 478-250-1444.
That's right. For sure.
And that's what we got.
For the good news.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't y'all forget to we always got to put in give a shout out to all the neighborhood organizations that are doing work.
Oh yeah.
Make sure y'all connect with them. Like I'm the president of the Westside Neighbors United organization, and we meet every second Tuesday over here at Greater Zion Hill Baptist Church every second Tuesday at 6:00. Tia is also she's the secretary for the Pleasant Hill Neighborhood Organization,
That's correct.
and they meet every second Saturday. In
Yes.
Pleasant Hill. Sometimes it's at L.H. Williams.
We alternate between L.H. Williams Cafetorium and Booker T. Washington Community Center. I believe this coming July 11th, we will be at Booker T.
Right. Okay, and then there was a brand new neighborhood organization that just had a meeting this past week. Yes, at Macedonia Baptist Church. Shout out to Pastor Belvin Ware, and Joe Booz, Miss Kia Booz, and everyone with South Macon. It's the South Macon neighborhood organization. They're working in the House and Avenue corridor. Shout out to them for the work that they're doing, and of course, big shout out to Miss Judy Gordon.
Yes.
With everything that she's doing with Neighborhood Watch and all the different neighborhood organizations that work with her as well. And also Miss Pam and Sherman over the Fort Hill Neighborhood Organization.
Fort Hill East Macon Neighborhood Association.
Yeah, they're doing work. You got Lake Arrowhead Neighborhood Organization, Kings Park. They're doing some good stuff. So shout out to all the neighborhood organizations that are meeting on a regular to work within the community and be about the community, and doing good work. Shout out to Tay Battle as well. He's doing some work with the city. If you are a neighborhood organization or you're working in the neighborhood, make sure you find a way to get with that fella. He's doing a lot of work right now trying to connect the city resources to neighborhoods. So make sure y'all check in with him as well. And in the chat, we got a couple of folks. Renata Scott, she says, hey, Renata. She says, good evening, everyone. We would love for the community to join us at the Make and Build Democratic meeting, July the 11th at 10 a.m. at the Frank Johnson Community Center. Come join us and let's get excited about voting.
Oh, yes.
That's for sure. Make sure y'all do that. Miss Mia Roberts Aguilar. Hey, Miss Mia. She says, happy belated birthday to State Representative Miriam Paris. And that was yesterday.
Happy belated birthday.
Hey, happy belated. So there's a lot of powerful, important people's birthday this week.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
So shout out to you. We got nothing but love.
Kansas is in the building.
I'll tell you. Ms. Mia also says Middle Georgia for Choice is looking for volunteers as well. So
okay, if you can just put how they can reach out if they are interested in volunteering, you can put that information in the chat. That would be great. So yeah, if you're looking for some opportunities to civically engage, be sure to check out what's going on with the Democratic Party as well as Middle Georgia for Choice. And we do have a caller on the line. Hey, caller.
Hey, Tia. This is Commissioner Bryan. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey. I'm great. I'm got that hot sun, so I feel
I'm talking
great.
about for real. Hey, I'm looking at the screen now. It's high 90s.
Probably 100 degrees out there.
Man, I wouldn't have did good as the field person because I would have done ran away.
Oh no, you want to? It ain't had nothing to do with the heat. You,
Look,
hey,
that'd have been the last concern.
I'm telling you,
but
the heat wouldn't have been the reason. I tell you that now, but yeah, you wouldn't have worked out. Me either.
None of us would. We wouldn't have made it.
Um, I just want to say this weekend is 4th of July weekend. I hope everybody is safe. If you're going to drink, please have a designated driver. I know somebody in the group ought to be not drinking. I hope everybody use their seat belts and fireworks. Take precautions when using the fireworks. And did you all see the PSA that Sheriff Davis put out?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, that was from like 5 years ago.
I just sent it to LJ. Is that what that was 5 years ago?
You mean about the marijuana law?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was like 5 years ago. That's when marijuana first got decriminalized. Yeah, I actually worked with a group, and actually at the time, Commissioner Al Tillman, he was working hard for it. Myself, and it was a group that we had called Registered and Ready. Myself, Marcia Talley, Ben Hubbard, Ray Wilson, Sherman. We always working with Commissioner Tillman on pushing to get marijuana decriminalized, and so it happened.
Okay.
I think it got passed about 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, and then so I think that was just a result of that. He was just talking about the new law as far as people getting caught with less than an ounce of marijuana, it being a misdemeanor, and so it wouldn't be a cause for you getting locked up. You know, it'd be like a $75 fine or whatever. But that's up to the discretion of the officer.
Right. And what's your accountability question for today?
So today's accountability check question is: what matters more, the plan or the action?
Ooh. So I'm going to answer that, and I'm going to say the action.
Ooh, tell us why you said the action.
People can tell you they love you all day, and they can plan to love you, but if their action don't show that they love you, it just ain't what they say. They saying one thing and they doing another one. I can have plans all day to go I'm gonna do it like this. I can have plans all day to find a job, but if I don't put in an application, then it doesn't matter if I plan to do it.
That's right. I like that. That's good. What are your thoughts on the accountability check question?
Well, I'm gonna ask you this time first. You always asking me what my thoughts are first. What are your thoughts on it?
I think both are important, but to say more important, I don't know. Because for me, I understand the necessity because I'm a planner, I'm an organizer. Like I understand, having something drawn out, strategics, because the probability of you implementing it is going to be higher because you're not just going into something, willy-nilly, just kind of going in head first. But I definitely understand the necessity of action and action speaking louder than words. Like you got to do both. You have to have one. For me, you can't have one without the other. So I think that is definitely important to be strategic, have some stuff organized, and, best laid plans don't always work out, but at least you can, kind of maneuver through that. Like, hey, this is what I planned on, but you still have to have that flexibility and be willing to maneuver around that. But the action is definitely important. You got to be able to implement and strategize and make changes where needed.
Right. Well, yeah, I'll speak to it. Yeah, from Kwame Ture, who was an activist. He said that, well, I guess in regards to us as a collective, I guess in the Black community, he made the statement that we have too much mobilization and not enough organization, right? And so I guess for this particular time period, we're fighting against a lot of systems, and there are a lot of folks that are writing up plans, like they had to, we be talking about stuff like Project 2025, right. And all the different laws are getting changed and policies and how people are not voting and how all these things are affecting people's lives and people are not paying attention to that. And so these are plans, right? And so we can want to do whatever it is that we want to do, but if our environment or if the system is not, it's not probable for us to be successful, in those arenas or in those spaces, then, a lot of times it makes us, our energy is not used efficiently.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I think that the plans help for us to be efficient, with our actions. Because sometimes, you know, we can do wrong and not even know it. You know what I mean? Like some people don't think like that. A lot of times we think about, well, as long as I got good intentions, you know, well, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Right.
But nah, like there's a way to do everything, you know, especially when we start talking about real plans and, you know, science and, you know, cause and effect. You know what I mean? And so, you know, the cause and effect of what you do, you know, it has to have a plan. You know, you have to know whether or not, you know, you're being effective or not. You know what I mean? And so I think both are necessary because you know, because then on the flip side, like you said, Commissioner, you know, you can have all these plans, you can say whatever you want to say, but if ain't no action following it, then I mean it ain't no good. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna close with this, Tia. I like what you said, but I'm gonna ask you who's gonna get the more time: the one that drew the plans to rob the bank, or the one that actually went in there and robbed the bank?
You said who gonna get more time? If the one who drew the plan, it's premeditated, ain't they gonna get more time? I don't know.
They're gonna get a conspiracy, but they didn't actually do it. I'm just messing with you, Tia.
I got you. No, I know. But that's funny. Look, that's funny.
You better not go rob without no plan. You gonna have no money and a whole lot of time.
I mean.
But don't go robbing, period. Don't do it. Don't do that. Make a plan before you make them plans.
Have a whole completely different plan.
You guys have a good 4th of the week, 4th of July. And y'all make sure y'all stay hydrated.
Hey, hold on before you go. Can we ask you, hold on real quick? Unless do you have 5 minutes? Do you have a couple minutes?
Go ahead.
All right, because you know a lot of folks been talking. You know, we've been trying to wait until we get more information on it, but we have been having some conversation with some folks. But folks have been asking questions about this arena that's being built with the $350 million. That's being,
said, ooh.
Lord. Even if you know, because I know a lot of, you know, even some folks I talk to in the city aren't really even that clear. But like, is there any, or even can you direct us if you don't have the direct answer as to like where is that money coming from? Like how does taxpayer money, like how does that get paid for?
From bonds. Those are coming from bonds. That money is coming from bonds, and I'm not sure of if they does not make the payment where it comes from. I read a post, but that doesn't mean it's I'm still learning. So I know it coming from bonds. I know the 350 coming from bonds, or even if it's a little more than that. And I'm not sure what happens if we default on the payment. So, but from a post that I read from Kevin Morgan, he said it come from the taxpayers. The only thing I would say about the arena is, for me personally, as a commissioner, I would have said that I'll say that if the arena came before the amphitheater, yes, because it's an all-in-one. Because I know we have a lot of stuff going on at Coliseum. But before we do all of these entertainment things, we got to take care of the people who live in the city. And that's been what I've said from day number one. It's like, I understand that this is bringing in revenue, entertainment, or whatever, but we can't let the quality of life for the people that have built this city and have paid this city and have lived here and paid taxes all their life. We can't let them fall by the wayside. We can't let them be neglected because we're trying to bring revenue in. We got to take care of our people. And that's just how I feel about it. You know, but some people are on board with, okay, we have a amphitheater and we have a arena coming. And I'm always going to say we need a new jail, not because I want to get people locked up, but because while they're inmates, they're supposed to have a standard of living. So I just think that we're going to have to prioritize the things that we're doing in the city.
Right. It's amazing. You said something about that jail. In the chat, Patrick Davis says building an entirely new jail facility in Bibb County, Georgia, is estimated to cost up to $300 million, right? And so
I know there was some pushback about that too.
Yeah,
when they were talking about that last year.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that too, because you know we're dealing with the quality of life of the people that live here. I mean, I know things like an arena. You know, it sounds good on paper. I mean, in regards to been a good look for the city, I guess, for like the brand of Macon. But when we talk about the quality of life, like, are the lives of the people that live here, are they being improved? Like, is this gonna be a great place to live or a great place to visit? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and then
Mhm.
and so even with the amphitheater, right? I did an open records request on the amphitheater, and when you talked about, you know, something that's generating revenue, well, technically, from the last records that I looked at, that the amphitheater is not making money; it's actually losing money. And I know we're supposed to have $2.5 million that is supposed to be generated from it every year, standing alone, that pays for the bond that we took out for the amphitheater, right? And I know that the money that's made from the amphitheaters is actually grouped up into a pot with what's made from the rent at the Macon Mall, right? And so, you know, there's like $800,000 even a year that is that's gotten from the government offices that are there. Which, that's another question I have. I really hadn't had a chance to speak with anybody to know how that happens, because that's like it's like 4 government offices that are there, I think. And so that would break down to like $200,000 per office a year that they're paying. But anyway, so from how I looked at the numbers, it looked like the amphitheater was like losing like 1.1 and 1.2 million dollars a year if you didn't factor in the rent that was collected from the Macon Mall. So these things aren't, you know. And then I also know for a fact, based on how everything else gets advertised, if the amphitheater was making money, I know
It
for
would definitely be a lot of conversation about it.
It would be on the news, the headline #1. I know that, we know that for a fact. All right, but you know, but just, you know, we I think us, when we talk about plans and then the action that's being taken, I think that's a good question too, to even ask about stuff like these arenas, because, you know, that's a lot of action that's being taken. But can we at least see the plans?
Right. And not just know
Right.
mock-ups of what it's supposed to look like. Like, I mean, do we do feasibility studies? You know, what is the return on investment supposed to be versus what it is it? Like, especially when we talk about things like the amphitheater. Like, it's been there for a few years. Does the socioeconomic status of the people surrounding the amphitheater look like? How are they doing? How has their lives improved? You know, we had what is it? The
UDA, Urban Development
not
Authority.
UDA. What is the store that said that they were going to be moving from West
Oh,
Macon?
you talking about Academy?
Academy. They want to move, and that's right down the street. So when we're talking about, you know, the amphitheater and even this arena and what it's supposed to do, and you know, people are saying we need to be looking at the big picture, what it's supposed to be doing. This is where plans come in, and this is where strategy comes in, and it shouldn't, especially when we're talking about something like $350 million, after, like you said, building an amphitheater that's not even really bringing in what it was supposed to be bringing in. You know, how are we keep talking about tourism, and we're still not seeing the quality of life of the people who are in these areas improving at all? You know, we're not seeing any new businesses coming into the Macon Mall. We're not seeing any, you know, really any new businesses coming around the surrounding areas. So those things are important. I know there has to be much greater transparency in reference to, you know, how we are even getting to the point where this is something that we're saying we're going to do, not just, you know, somebody, I want to leave this mark, and my name is going to be great because I'm, you know, creating these different arenas and things like that. But how is this going to leave a legacy for the people who live here? And I know they're saying jobs are going to come in, but what about the jobs that are supposed to come at the amphitheater? You know, who is benefiting from these things that are coming into our community? It shouldn't just be a small group. It should be everybody.
I agree with you totally. So, you know, I hear people always say, well, you know, when they said build this, they said people weren't going to come. They said build that, people weren't going to come. So you build things, people are going to come, but we still got to take care of the people that are here, because what's going to happen is you can move out, and I'm saying this from law enforcement background experience. You can move all that stuff to Bass Road, Riverside. If you move all the way from over there, they got cars now. They ain't got horse and buggy no more. They going over there. They're going over there to steal, rob, whatever it is. So you can move it all the way over there and think, okay, it's going to be in the area and we're not going to have this and that. Oh, yeah. They're going to have it worse because there's nothing over here.
Right, and that's just like I saw Aisha, Miss Aisha Ellen. She had put up a post, and not to go too deep into what her post was, but basically she was saying the same thing about North Macon, and people saying people are gonna move out to North Macon, but look at Riverside Drive and Time Hill Senior and Northside Drive. Like this area has been neglected, and they keep moving further out, and then now is where they're moving even inward. So from downtown and then kind of dispersing. So it's always going to be like this shift in this pattern when people are trying to move from these certain areas into the and disinvestment happens to the point where now we want to reinvest and now we want to move into this better area. That's always a pattern, but how do you make it so that everybody is benefiting to where you don't have to displace people and disinvest in the community, where we can generate revenue and create systems and partnerships to where everybody is benefiting, and we don't have to see this white flight, black flight, all of these different things, and have to be so focused or concerned about violence and criminal activity and things like that, because people are actually getting workforce development and getting educated at a higher level, so that way they're making money that they can afford things, as opposed to having to rob, steal, or whatever the case may be.
Okay, so I'm fixing to start something. LJ.
Yes, ma'am.
Since you do open record requests, and I know I'm a commissioner, but I wasn't in the loop. I just want to know, how did they apply for the summer jobs?
How did they apply for the summer jobs?
Yeah. You talking about those? What was it? 32 positions or something like that for the youth?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, I heard about it, like I saw it in the news or something, but I don't
yeah, because I feel like when the article came out, the
jobs
were already selected. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how that
I know. I just have some people that called me and they were like, "Oh, how do we sign our kids up for the summer jobs?" And I was like, as far as I know, they already filled. They were like, "How you do the application and stuff?" So I just wondering if y'all had heard that. But okay.
Oh no, you. Oh, and that's amazing. Like, I mean, you would think that, I mean, a lot of information will be given. I mean, you a whole county commissioner. You would think some of the information would be given to y'all, to disseminate to the community. But I mean, I mean, when a lot of those things get rolled out, does it not come to? Do y'all not get an email like as commissioners, or how does that work?
That one must have went through somebody else, and and I appreciate them hiring the 32 people from wherever they come from. I'm sure they needed it. I wish that it was more transparency on how, to apply, who got chosen, make sure that they were making residents, and to make sure that, these kids were the ones that really needed it, that benefited from it the most, 'cause everything's high now. So single moms, they having to buy school clothes. So it could have been some of their seniors that had, to have school pictures taken, class ring, all things that you have to have for senior. I was just wondering if you all had heard it. Maybe I was out of town or something when I haven't missed a meeting, but maybe I was out of town or something when.
I mean, even how it got rolled. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, even with how it got rolled out, I mean, we have somebody in the comments right now. They're saying, the Chevis Perry says the summer jobs caught a lot of people off guard. And he said the same thing that you said. He said, of course, there are more that are interested. And so, then Patrick Davis says participants for the MOYEE program in Macon-Bibb County were selected through a competitive application and interview process. Out of the applicants, only 32 students were chosen and matched with local organizations based on their personal interests and career assessment results. All right, and so
that's more information than I ever saw. I didn't know what the process was, even when the application process started. So I'm not sure if it went through just like the school district, or if it went to just all the schools, private and public, or I'm not sure the details at all of how that was went about.
Or even how long it was promoted. Like, was it promoted in springtime, wintertime? To
Right.
give people time to apply.
I don't think it was promoted that long because I heard Dr. Ficklin talking about it on the Elaine Lucas show that Wednesday right before you all, and he was saying it's something good coming. We're going to announce it on Monday. So to me, if you had it on Wednesday, the show on Wednesday, and you said it would be announced the following week, that was only 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of these things aren't getting promoted a lot. And, we hear that a lot in Macon. Like, we hear that across the board, from because I wasn't really happy even with the East Splash meetings. Although we know that it was important for for us to pass it for the sake of our schools, but for us to have that meeting, when voting had already started, for people to vote on it. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't give people months in advance to get educated on what the East Splash entails, how that affects us as a community. And just in general, across the board, there are a lot of things that are rolled out for us as a people, but the people aren't educated or given the time in advance or even engaged sometimes at all to even know what's happening, and so we think that's something that I, T and I definitely, with all the work that we do through neighborhood organizations and community advocacy, working with the government, or working, with the people directly, that seems to be a major issue with the people of Macon have, as far as not knowing what is happening and how it's happening, when it's happening.
Right.
And then we get into the spaces with these organizations or the so-called leadership that are rolling out these programs. They blame the people half of the time,
Right.
for not getting involved, or well, we doing this, but the people they ain't showing up, or they don't want to do this or do that. You know what I mean? But there's got to be a greater effort, to be more transparent and be more forward thinking when we rolling out these things in the city.
Right.
Yeah, especially when we,
All
look
right.
at
Well,
the
y'all
ways.
have a happy 4th of July.
Yeah,
Same to
same
you.
to
We
you,
want to.
Commissioner.
Yeah, we're not kidnapping you. We
Yeah,
sorry.
because you've been.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Thank
I'm
you.
just trying to let somebody else call, just in case somebody else want to call and they'll say I hogged up the airtime.
That's right. That's right.
We appreciate you,
We
All
appreciate
right,
Commissioner.
y'all have a good one.
All right, you
Right.
too. But I was just gonna say, just like when we're able to see certain things get rolled out, we see a lot. Like, for instance, for example, with this arena, we see a lot of information and a lot of talk about it. I feel like that should be the case with anything that's happening that's being rolled out by the city. We have a comps department, marketing, all of those things.
Right.
So there should be a way for the community to be educated on what's happening, the resources that are available, and all of those type of things, because a lot of times people just don't know what's going on and what's available.
Right.
And then I'll pick back up on.
Yeah, we had Miss Mia Robbins. I think she was in the chat and told
Yep.
us about some stuff.
She did. And then Randy Crawford says free salads and strawberries at EI. Is that EI? EL High School.
Elaine Lucas High School.
Elaine Lucas, thank you. Until 7:30. Mia Robbins Aguilar says Middle Georgia for Choice Facebook page. So that's where you want to go if you want to volunteer for Middle Georgia for Choice. And again, the accountability check question is, what matters more, the plan or the action? Ashley Wilford says both. Sometimes to get the action done, you need a plan to complete it. Julia Callahan says, join Middle Georgia for Choice, Middle Georgia's only reproductive justice group, for our monthly meeting on July 8th at 6 p.m. at Ingleside Village Pizza. We are here organizing and expanding our free Plan B banks, increasing awareness about access to care, and planning for the rest of the year. So make sure y'all join Middle Georgia for Choice on July 8th. She also says, some exclamation marks for Mia Aguilar. Patrick Davis, LJ already read that. What can be done to expand Greenwood Bottom here in Macon? What can be done to further develop Macon's modern Black Wall Street, featuring Black-owned shops, plazas, food truck events? I don't know, LJ, we can talk about that if you want. And then Chevis Perry says, of course, there are more that are interested in that summer job. Katrina Wimberly says it was not promoted at all. It's something good to support who they wanted it to go to. And she says undercover leadership at its finest. And then Chevis Perry says to Patrick Davis, thank you for the information. The communication about it could have been articulated properly. He says he almost didn't recognize LJ.
Everybody keeps saying that, man. Yeah, I gained a little weight. I've been in the gym though, y'all. It ain't everywhere now. It ain't everywhere.
He been in the gym, y'all. And then Julia says, "Action without a plan is just a crash out." Yeah. So there we go. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining in the chat. We appreciate those comments. If you have anything else you want to add to the conversation, give us a call at 478-250-1444. LJ, did you have anything else to add to what Commissioner Bryant was speaking about?
No, I'd just like to say that, based on just that entire conversation. What's up, Carlos Stevens?
Hey, Carlos.
Hey, he said, what's going on, LJ? Shout out to you, man. You doing everything. Y'all make sure y'all go back and check out some of our older shows. You can look at the replays of our shows on YouTube and on Facebook. Well, on Facebook for about 3 months, but on YouTube you can go back as far as a year. And we have over a year of shows now. It's like 13 months since we've been doing the show. But Carlos Stevens was on a couple of weeks ago with us, and it was a phenomenal show. So make sure y'all go and check that back out if you haven't had a chance to check it out. But he's doing big things in the city. We appreciate you, man. You are the new Tina Hicks of Macon. We crying at you. Yeah, you're the number one journalist in the city. You're from here. You're about here. You're giving people opportunities. You shine a light on stories and people who a lot of times don't get the recognition in our time. So you were very well balanced, man. You giving us the positive and what we might call the negative news, but the necessary news that we need to hear about. But you were definitely shining a light on all the things that need to be shined on here in the city. So we appreciate you, Carlos. Right, but as far as what we were talking about, Tia, I think that because I've had a conversation with someone lately, in regards to our neighborhood organization, right? And we're talking about doing some work with an organization who's going to be doing something in the city. In the neighborhood. And it was a person that worked with one of the organizations. They said that they didn't think that talking to the neighborhood was part of phase one. They felt like they were supposed to they should it should be a middle part of the phase when maybe months down the line or something or in the middle of the process of doing what they're doing. And so I started talking to the person about that. I was like, why do they feel like they don't need to talk to the neighborhood first? Like, why do they feel like they need to talk to folks, in the middle, or after they've already got things started? I said, that's not right. For one, that approach is not how you do real, effective community, development, asset-based community development, which is how you really should approach it rather than programmatic based development. Programmatic based development is when you just you hear, it's all about the program. It's not necessarily about the people. So the program is here. When the program is gone, and everything else that came with it is gone. Asset based is when you build up the people and you're working with the people. So the people are the program essentially, and and you're working with the people and not, you're not doing this for the people, but you're doing it with the people,
right,
in the neighborhood, right? And so when we had the conversation, we kept talking. They started telling me about how certain things, and I let them know like, hey, well, that's not right. I was like, the things that y'all are thinking they're not even correct, right? And so they had to look into what I was saying, and they realized, well, no, it's not correct. I said, yeah, this is the type of stuff you find out when you actually talk to the people in the neighborhood, because there are certain nuances or certain things that people know in our own communities that nobody who just come in from the outside looking at these data, even if they did a survey or something, right. You know what I mean? It's gonna be certain things that you're only gonna be able to get by working with the people in the neighborhood. And then they found that out, the hard way. You know what I mean? Right. So now, you make this statement about, we don't have to bring the people to the conversation first because they're not needed at this moment. Now you realize that you do. So now you got to go all the way back to square one and do something totally different because you didn't want to have that conversation with the community first. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And so, for me, that's just a constant frustration that I have. I'm venting a little bit, y'all, on the radio, and I'm also putting it out there, anybody who's in leadership positions or who are doing plans or community development, whatever it is that you're doing, you're working in these neighborhoods, man, talk to the people. And if you feel like you can't reach nobody or nobody's being receptive for find a different approach. Find somebody that's from the neighborhood. Get them to talk to somebody. You know, and that's all I'm gonna say. You know, we got folks in the comments. I ain't gonna take up all.
Yeah, but I think that that's important because there are a lot of people who are doing quote unquote community work, and the approach is skewed, is off, and the intentionality to make sure that the people are seen, heard, and valued is lacking tremendously. And that's when I've been hearing a lot of people talk about gentrification and doing gentrification right. And I think that there has to be better understanding on terminology, because gentrification can never be done right because gentrification includes displacement. But when we talk about community development and being intentional in it, like you said, asset based, those are things that maybe that's the terminology that we need to start using and understanding, as opposed to trying to turn gentrification into a good thing, because it'll never be a good thing, because someone will always be displaced in that line of thinking, because we're not approaching the people in the communities in a way that is going to be beneficial to them in the short or long term. So
yeah, but you know, people are framing gentrification as potentially being a good thing. Like based on how they're framing it, it makes it kind of sound good, you know, because you're talking about, you know, well, just changing the space, you know, or you're changing the environment of the place. So then therefore, you know, it's making the living conditions better in that environment. And so, you know, you might have, you know, things that are coming in. It might cost a little bit more money, this, that, or whatever, but you know, it's for the betterment of the environment. But when you understand the lives of the people, or the quality of life, or the challenges that people face who live in that community, when you realize that, okay, now they're being priced out of these opportunities, or these amenities that are coming into this community can't be enjoyed by the people that live there. So it's going to end up, what's going to end up happening is what you talked about, you know, there being displacement. So that's originally what gentrification, the whole definition of it,
that's what
originally,
it is.
yeah, that's what it is.
It's
Meant and catered to displace people. You know what I mean? And so if you're not thinking about the quality, true development is done people first. You build people, then the buildings, right? You don't come building buildings and then you expect the people just to follow suit. That's not how it was done. In any successful model across this country, across the world, when you see real change happening, where the community is being developed and the people are able to have upward mobility along with this development that's happening, it began and begins with the people. So there should be a marriage, there should be a partnership between the public sector and the private sector that are working hand in hand together. And so even when we're doing these developments and projects, like how you said about businesses being created around the amphitheater, if there aren't partnerships being had with the neighborhood, or just if there aren't people actively working in that particular neighborhood, or just in general bringing the private sector into that space beforehand, as you're working and developing that space, to make sure that there are restaurants, there are businesses, that you do have neighborhoods now that are being able to take advantage of these different things. You do have kids or people who live in these neighborhoods that are going to be able to work in these spaces and make more money in these spaces. You know, their property taxes aren't gonna go sky high and end up being too much for them to keep up with, or grandmama or whoever it is that's living in these homes not being able to pay their property taxes anymore because of the cost of living and property value is rising. All these things have to be taken into account. But if you wait to the end, that after stuff is already built, and then you come try to talk to the people and work with the people, you're gonna keep having the same issue. So we're not but we are having an issue. People are not, the quality of life. Like, there are a lot of things that are happening that are good for maybe the brand of the city or the brand of Macon, but the people in Macon aren't being uplifted or being developed at the same time. You know what I mean? So, for instance, even like that arena, same thing. It looks good, for the brand of Macon and what it looks like on paper, or if one of these Atlanta Journal-Constitution writes an article about it, or if we get one of these national publications talk about how Macon is a great place to visit or whatever, but we got a 25% poverty rate.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have all these different issues going on with our schools, the air quality, our environment in general. We're dealing with a lot of different issues and problems. Some of the crime, the crime issues we had. So, like, these are things that, working with the people and developing the people first will help to solve. If we do that and use that approach first. With that being said, I'm sorry. Pastor Davis, he was in the chat and he said, "What happened to the Middle Georgia Consortium? Can the next mayor expand the consortium? The Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, WIOA, had provided federal grants for 11 Central Georgia counties, including Bibb. This program was designed to help teenagers and young adults in order to provide assistance or funding for employment programs, tuition for skills training, and paid work experience to help them secure successful careers. The Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act is a federal grant program that provides job seekers with funding for occupational training, education, and support services. Yeah, sounds awesome to me. Patrick, man, we need you, man. We need you to start showing up to some of these meetings.
Right. Yeah, because I've never heard of that grant program, and so that can definitely raise questions. Because I believe that with the mayor's youth initiative, it was in partnership with the Griffin Foundation. So I'm not even sure if Macon Bibb utilized any of those funds or not. So I'll definitely want to look into that because I haven't heard anything about that. So thank you so much for that input.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that was my first job. My first job in my life came through the consortium. I mean, other than working at Habersham Records growing up as a child, but my first job where I applied and got a job, that was through the Middle Georgia Consortium. And I was 15.
Yeah. So those are the type of things that we need. And I think that we definitely have to understand why the people are so important. When we ask the question, what matters more, the plan or the action, we need to understand plans, and we need to understand developing plans and understand the things that are supposed to go into these major moves that get made in communities, feasibility plans, return on investments, asset analysis and things. All of those type of things are supposed to go into developing before developments happen. And those should be things that are shared with the community. They should be transparent. They should be available for public view. They should be available for public understanding. It shouldn't be a select group of people who get to hear anything in reference to that. And people should be able to ask questions without fear of retaliation or being accused of, not being on board or not caring about their community. Because the truth of the matter is, people, care about their community. I care about my community. And I think to ask questions is important. We should never just allow things to happen without explanation. And we are the people who, vote in these, elected officials. And we are the people who have power. So we have to be able to not only work with our elected officials, but we also have to, hold them and hold ourselves accountable. We have to be educated on what's happening in our communities. And Wade Horton says, please check on the seniors who live alone and those who take public transportation without adequate air. We need advocates. This heat is deadly, especially to those with disabilities. Thank you so much for that, Wade. Thank you so much, because I know that they launch some electric buses, but I'm not sure how the air is on the bus. How many buses have air conditioners and things like that. So yeah, if you live in an area with some seniors, be sure to check in on them. That's right. Yeah.
Check on your folks. You know what I mean? 'Cause a lot of times people, we leave our seniors alone and don't talk to them for days at a time. And sometimes we have our older members of our family. Begin with them who we don't talk to as much as we might need to. So check on them. Make sure they're all right. Make sure that the AC is working. Make sure they got good ventilation, in the home. Because it is extremely hot out here, and it's gonna get worse. So
yeah. But with that, Commissioner Bryan says, have a great 4th of July weekend. Everyone, please be safe. Let Coroner Leon Jones and his team rest. Also, let the deputies handle the low call volume this weekend. Yes, y'all. Be safe. Be smart. Love on your people. Let's de-escalate where we can. We appreciate y'all. Ain't no way.
Apostle Rosie is in here. I knew it. I knew it. It smell like Altoids.
Oh Lord, y'all! I don't be knowing what be going on sometimes. Studio
like Altoids in there. I knew it was Apostle Rosie.
But we appreciate y'all for joining us. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. We look forward to joining y'all next week after the holiday. And we will be back for more Village Talks. You okay?
That's it. We love y'all. Check in with us. Don't forget, go check out all of our old shows. Share this show on YouTube, Facebook, all that. Glory 107.9 FM, WDDO.
Peace.
You've been listening to Village Talks with Tia and LJ. Join them live every Wednesday from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. right here on the Glory 107.9 FM, 980 AM WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff.